Rolling.
Back and to the left. Back and to the left. Back and to the left.
To the left.
Good evening, everybody.
To the left. To the right. To the right. To the front. To the front. To the back. To the back. That's it. Baby dip. Dip, baby dip.
These are great songs at weddings that we're going to talk about tonight. That is tonight's topic and theme. As always, we are wild and crazy guys.
I like the Cupid Shuffle. And the electric slide. The electric slide is also, I guess, about a woman and her vibrator.
No.
Yep.
You think about the lyrics. Hold on.
Uh-huh. It's electric. Woogie, 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 woogie.
What, you can't show it? What? It's electric. I'm going to take your word for it. Sounds plausible to me.
Oh my!
So
God.
shout out to Andy. He listens. He's a fan, and I thought it was
Thank
hilarious.
you for tuning in.
He knew you were coming. He's like, yeah, I know. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, I know he's coming. And then shout out to Greece. You're joining the Catch the Sky Nation. We appreciate you. Yamas. Yamas.
You know what? I'm not sure if I want to give Greece credit, but I know that one of our listeners is currently in Greece.
Okay.
So it could
you know who that is.
it could just be a U.S. listener in disguise.
Okay. Well, we eat lots of aubergine. Lots of aubergine. When in Greece.
Right.
I just finished Obama's book Promised Land about his first 2 years in office. Really is what the first book is about. And Greece enters into this because they're going bankrupt during this time as presidency, and they're threatening to ruin the entire European market, which would negatively impact the American market. And the more I recalled this, I was like, wow, he really got saddled with a bag of ass going into office. George Bush was like, hey, man, sorry, the economy's collapsing. I'm going to bail out some banks, and you're going to get blamed for it. And I always think it's unfair about the bag of ass that Barack Obama got handled as he entered the White House. And he steered this country very steadfastly, and I think he did a good job. And I don't think people want to give him enough credit, and that always frustrates me. And if they have justification against that, and I hope that those criticisms are civil and warranted, really. And so sometimes you get into the deep end, and that's conspiracy theory stuff. And we love conspiracy theories on the Catch the Sky podcast. So much that we should talk about them more often.
Well, but there's just so many.
Right.
So we've already done 9/11, and that was per my request. And that's
we need to do it again.
Well, yeah, that's the millennials conspiracy. But before 9/11, the conspiracy to end all conspiracies was, drum roll, please.
You want me to say it, or do you want me to say it in a way like I could say JFK blown away? What else do I have to say?
Wow. Whoa. But hey, Billy Joel screamed it in a song, so why can't we?
Try doing that song in karaoke, by the way.
Jesus. I feel like, yeah, you probably just start to run out of, you probably get winded towards the end of it. It's not so much not knowing all the lyrics, because I feel like most people would recognize the lyrics, even if they don't get them in order. obviously they're presented to you in order in karaoke. So you might be able to get through that part. I just feel like just the endurance to make it through that song takes a lot. And this
Beastie
guy's
Boys
got
is also
and this guy's got a residency in Madison Square Garden. Jesus. Can't believe he's still going.
At the Nassau Coliseum out in Long Island, I got a Billy Joel bobblehead attending a Islanders Red Wings game. And I thought for sure that I had no chance because of the time trying to negotiate the train system out in Grand Central Station.
Oof. Yeah, getting out to Long Island. Have fun with that.
Yeah.
But
I actually think I was able to do it from either way. Yes. Tangent. Billy Joel stopped.
We are discussing JFK on this evening's episode of the Catch the Sky podcast. If you'd like to comment, you may do so on Twitter at CTS Terry or at CTS Saif. You may also find us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, or wherever you listen to podcasts by searching for the Catch the Sky podcast. Be sure to subscribe, share with your friends, your family. We appreciate it. We're going worldwide, baby.
Sit.
And we are dog owners.
I'm in the back. I forgot I left the gate open. So I've been leaving the gate open lately, and she's been taking walks.
So you're not even at your microphone right now?
No, I'm at it. I'm carrying around my laptop and my microphone simultaneously.
This is fantastic. So you're like mobile. So now you know what my life was like on the road last year. Try doing what you're doing in a car with a dog and another guy's dog barking at you in his RV next door.
Shout out to Allie, who loves episode 6 of the Catch the Sky podcast. That is real. That is a real conversation T had with a human being in a parking lot in Montana.
Heavily edited because there was a lot more. There's a lot that hit the cutting room floor with that one. Holy shit. Oh my God. It was graphic.
It was also conspiracy oriented.
That's true. That is true. Our first conspiracy episode, technically.
That would have been I think with everybody with JFK, within reason, I think most people believe that it was some type of conspiracy. They don't believe it was one shooter.
It's actually gone down. The polls that they've done in recent history indicate that more people buy the historical narrative at this point. And I think they accredit a lot of that to internet research and being able to debunk the conspiracies. So they're actually using the internet to say that it's having the opposite effect with this conspiracy theory.
All I know is that Oliver Stone in 1991 flipped America on its back and rubbed their belly, got nominated for Oscar awards, and got Congress to take action and try to speed up the releasing of the JFK files. Most recently, President Trump held the keys to that switch, and he released some documents. Some were still heavily redacted, mostly from the FBI.
Well, they have
and
to
the
hide,
CIA.
you know?
That to me, though, that's the whole thing, is that the government isn't allowing us to see what's going on here. And because the Freedom of Information Act exists as a concept tool to save a democracy, as a tool that we passed into law because we were tired of our government lying to us post-Pentagon Papers. But the JFK non-release of files, to me, is an affirmation of corrupt government and a direct indicator that people don't want to be honest about what's going on. And that's what lingers the most for me as a believer in government. I believe in the process, and I want to trust that government is
Let me ask
on
you
the side
something.
to do. Please.
Do you think the government has the right to withhold information like this?
I believe in some matters, yes. How they exercise that power, what's a matter of public You know, if I'm being perfectly going back, I think the thing I love about Bitcoin is it's open sheets, right? We're opening the books, and I think government is open. I think you can go and look at congressional records and do that. It just takes a lot of work, and it's convoluted, and it's written in a language that's legal, right? And they still manage to declassify things, all in the interest of national security. But
I don't know, man.
There's got to be a better way to open source everything is what I would want. Quicker too.
There was just they openly executed some dude without due process. So there's no explanation for that.
And you're talking about JFK or the would you?
I'm talking about when Jack Ruby just shoots this dude on national TV. I mean, it's just too convenient, you know? They're taking the utmost protection to ensure that this witness is protected. And I mean, just watch the tape. All you gotta do is watch the tape. Ruby just like strolls up and basically shoots this dude. Like there's no like, there's little resistance. They obviously like jump on it after the fact, but there's nobody is like trying to keep this guy away, right? Once he kind of walks in front of him, people are like, hey, what's going on? But at that point, it's like, it's too late. You know what's going on. Like, I don't know. The whole thing just seems too convenient.
The whole thing stinks. And Danny Aiello actually played Jack Ruby in a 1992 fictional account. And there is Sherilyn Fenn is the female in that. And whoa, is she something? So, great little movie there from 1992. Used to get my eggplant boiling. Shout out to eggplants and Grace. And all ties back. So, yes, the whole thing is like a lot of people just get offed.
Well, there's a billion different conspiracy theories that surround this thing, and that's what drives me nuts. So, I don't really want to focus on the fact that JFK was Catholic or his relationship with the mob or
the first Catholic outside of Joe Biden.
Right. And so I do not want to jump onto any of those conspiracy things or anything like that. The one that me in particular,
and he was tied to the mob.
Right. But the thing that bothers me in particular is the like you said to start the show, back and to the left. His head goes back and to the left. And so every physicist's explanation that I get for this is that his head slightly goes forward before that because it was hit from behind, right? And then the force of it exiting from the front basically propelled his head backwards. Okay, well, that's fine. Except Oswald was over his right shoulder. So if that's the case, he would go back into the right. And he didn't. If that's their explanation, wouldn't he go back into the right?
I'm still sticking with the grassy knoll.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If your explanation is that that whatever, the force of it coming out of the front of his head propelled it backwards, why didn't it go back into the right? Because the shots came from behind him.
Here's the thing with physics is I'm not prepared to argue about it because I don't understand it fully. But people are, even though they don't understand it, which is the beauty of America and the world, really, for that matter, and just our ability to communicate. Shout out to communication for making people sound like experts, even though they have no idea what the hell they're talking about. So as far as the physics part, I got nothing for you.
Well, every time I read an explanation about this, their explanation is only half the explanation. They say, "Oh, you'll notice that his head like slightly propels forward before, rocking backwards." And they're like, the bullet hitting it is what caused it to move forward. But they don't mention why it goes back to the left. They're like, oh, it went forward. Well, why did it go to the left? I want to know why it went to the left. Stop telling me fucking about the first part of the sentence and tell me about the second part, you bastard. back, and to the left.
And every time I've ever tried this, it's like with a paper target or a watermelon or a can, and that doesn't really help me understand this for myself, right? And I've never actually shot someone in the head from maybe 100 plus, maybe 100 yards. I don't know what the specifics were. I know he was on the 6th floor of the book depository, which is now a museum in Dallas. By chance, did you visit that?
I did not.
Along the way.
It was not accessible. COVID.
Fucking COVID, yeah. COVID killed it. There's
the
loss of freedom right there.
Yeah, the conspiracy theorists were set up outside, though. They were peddling their shit aggressively.
Yes, they were.
Aggressively. The Grassy Knoll. You want to hear about the Grassy Knoll? You go right there, and they'll tell you all about it.
Those guys they'll sell you a map to the stars in Dallas.
They're fucking ruthless.
T-shirts, buttons, pictures. They got it all. Tell them, say hi to Rudy. tell him catch the sky sent you.
But that is the one part of this that has always bothered me. The back and to the left, right? Because we see his head on the back of the car.
And how do we see that?
What do you mean? Due to the...
Because Abraham Zapruder.
Oh, yeah. There's, yeah.
With his 8mm or 15mm, whatever he had, camera.
There's several photographers and videographers that shot the entire event, but I think his is definitely the best angle and provides us with the most graphic shot, really. No pun intended there.
Now, how do we know? Because this is moon landing era, so that they were doctoring videos. Obviously, this is a little bit more complicated of something to doctor.
I'm not thinking that anything's doctored here. My question is, was his face all over the inside of the car?
It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I think if I get shot by something or something hits me with force, I think I fly backwards. And so because it looks like he's going backwards in the video, that to me indicates a forward shot. And so that's why I think the viability of the Grassy Knoll lives on. Yeah, it lives on forever. And what are we arguing about? Let's talk about the why. Why was JFK killed? That's the bigger part. Well, and this is the question.
Well,
yes.
Yeah,
people get thought it was.
I'm just clarifying that as far as the whole conspiracy goes, the Grassy Knoll is the biggest thing. The idea that he got shot from a head seems to be the most plausible to me. Even these other explanations, like I said, they only seem to cover half of the truth.
And is it all because he double-crossed the mob on Cuba?
So why don't you fill us in on a little history there?
So with regards, Nixon-Kennedy was one of the closest elections, and it's that election, communicatively, the way we've studied it is from a political theater point of view, the way Kennedy was presented in front of the television audience made him look better than Nixon. And Nixon had the 5 o'clock shadow. He kind of had this scowl. He wasn't ready for prime time. Apparently he was sweating. Maybe he didn't have a good makeup guy. And everybody attributed JFK as the winner of this debate. Again, it's arbitrary. People who wins the debate, right? But on audio, Nixon won. Okay. And Nixon would later go on to be president. So it's a close election. And many people believe that the election was rigged or stolen, and the mob was a part of that process in favor of Kennedy, and that his father, Joseph Kennedy, was a known bootlegger in Massachusetts, got rich during the Prohibition era, and got involved with the mob then, right? Gets a couple sons as lawyers, puts them through school, and those guys get really good jobs as attorneys general for these United States and target and go after organized crime. So whether or not that was
seems kind of silly,
the same,
right?
It's assuming that all organized crime is the same, right? And you can't say there might be factions. Yeah. And a faction of the family wanted him and the other faction didn't, and he targeted the family that didn't support him. You know what I mean?
Right, the other families got it.
But this is
these are the Goombas and the Goombos.
And the way you stop. Well, the mob has just had to legitimize their operations and just take on different interests. So I think, if you're a big fan of The Wire, you know that they're into shipping. And, depending again on how you understand their influence, I believe that organized crime was in fact very influential. I think a lot of organized crime syndicates in this country presently have influence. They even lobby government legally. And they're connected to radical movements within the country that are associated with violence. And because we think the mob is in a lot of ways, we kind of diminish, they're finished. Their influence is gone. I think
they're running Erie.
I think I've heard things about Buffalo. Believe me, I have.
I'm not, bro, but what's between Buffalo and Detroit? Erie and Cleveland. It's not
Kansas City.
It's Kansas City is definitely not between Buffalo.
I'm saying there are major cities. There are major cities in America that still have the imprint, the palm print.
But
yes, Erie.
I was
for
talking
sure.
to somebody.
You're going to get whacked for saying this,
right? Well, I was talking to somebody that was from out of town, and they were like, yo, I travel for work and I've been to a bunch of different cities, big, small, mid-size, like this one. And they're like, there's something weird about this place. I told you, man. I fucking told you. This place is fucking whack. I'm going to get whacked.
I had a great time there, but obviously I wasn't trying to make an economic living in that area. And I think your options were what? Insurance, Welch's Grape.
Welch's is not necessarily like a big employer. You're going to work in the healthcare field, you're going to work in insurance, or you're going to be a server or a bartender.
You're going to be part of the service industry.
Mm-hmm. Or you're going to have an OnlyFans.
And you can still have it. Thank you. We put the pressure on them. We put the screws on them, and they reverted. They pulled out. They pulled back.
Oh, did they?
They did. They reversed.
Nice.
But I was gonna call them no good, no different than Robin Hood.
Well, they changed their mind. So
just like when Robin Hood screwed the investors right after they put it all, wouldn't let them pull on the GameStop. Held it.
Hey, I made some money. I made some money off of their IPO. So
you did get into their IPO. Yeah. I still insist that the sheet that is passed on when they for the purposes of informing investors, I believe their version was over 100 page. And to give you some context, I think Amazon or Walmart were under 30 pages. So, Robinhood, good luck with that stock. But again, if you made money, good job by you, buddy. I'm proud of you.
It's the name of the game.
That's it. Baby, be a hustler. So, JFK, blown away. Why did they kill him? Why do you think they killed him, T?
I don't know. Like you said, the mob was probably sick and tired of their
So we
bullshit.
are blaming the mob. Not the Cubans? Can we blame? What about the Chinese?
Well, wait, who killed Bobby?
Sirhan, an Iranian American.
Right. What was his motivation?
And then they were trying to connect Oswald to Cuba, right, to get us to invade there. A lot of these, man, that's the other part that's really eerie, is that this Iranian American named Sirhan, who's locked up in a prison in the Bay Area. What is that? Not Alcatraz, but the other one. Not Rikers, but what was the other one?
Dude, I have no idea.
But regardless, that's the part that always is odd to me, that within these elements, they have these fall people like Oswald or Sirhan or James Earl Ray.
I think he said he was a patsy. I'm a patsy.
San Quentin. Yes.
Why do you say that?
And
so watch.
Who knows? I didn't even know what the word patsy meant. What does patsy mean? I thought that was a female's name. meet my sister Patsy. She's single.
It's a fall
Patsy
guy,
Cline,
like
though.
you said.
Shout out to Patsy Cline.
Like-
she goes out walking. That's Patty?
Like you
That's
said.
Patty, my sister.
Jesus.
Name their dog Patty or cat. I feel like Patty's a cat's name.
A patsy, though, is the fall guy. It's just somebody that they pin it on. And if you watch,
Someone who's easily
if you just watch the footage,
bamboozled.
like I said, there's that JFK 3 Shots That Changed America. That's just the whole day, just
Is that
chronologically.
YouTube or Netflix?
You can get it on YouTube currently.
I tortured my love with JFK, the Oliver Stone version, but more so because I was like, Oliver Stone's an important director in American cinema, and I'm getting her warmed up for Any Given Sunday.
I think
Because ultimately that's
I want you to watch the film that I'm recommending, because it's literally
we've already moved on.
It's
We
just
got into Ted Lasso.
I don't, well, yeah, I'm not talking about you and her. I'm talking about just you on your own time, whenever.
Yeah, like I have that.
Well-
But maybe, T. Actually, how about this? How about we suggest for our listeners to watch this, and they can tell us what they think on the social media who's-a-ma-what's-it or thingamajig.
Well, I'm just saying, for your passion regarding this subject, you should watch that, because it's an uninterrupted chronological series of events. And
Former passion.
And while you watch it, it's just interesting because Oswald he doesn't seem very fazed by what's going on, and he continuously just asks for legal representation. You know, he's like, I
don't believe he was afforded, yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's like, they haven't offered me any legal representation. I have no idea why I'm here. I was just informed that I was charged of murdering the president, like blah, blah, blah.
Murdering a police officer.
Yeah. But then I think they included the president stuff, and that's when he said that was the first time I'm hearing about it. And then
And the only reason I said that, T, is that I watched so many JFK documentaries when I was a young man.
and that's why this is
And a lot of them, and so I've actually seen a lot of that same footage that you're referring to. And I spent a good part of the 90s really getting into that. Any of my friends who know me from back in the day know I had a JFK poster in my room. They know I had a Cleveland Cavaliers jersey, you know, that I was a Cavs fan. And I was also a big JFK guy. I went to Washington, D.C. I looked at the Eternal Flame. And when I was in Boston, I went to the Presidential Library. And I did spend an enormous amount of my life getting into this. And it actually sparked the interest to be invested in politics as a craft, because I feel like there's something about it that's intoxicating, the art of it, the study of it, and JFK helped propel that interest. So shout out to JFK. You know, you are appreciated for that.
Yeah, I just think,
But
I think you'd appreciate it because it's an uninterrupted. There's no other people talking. It's just the day how it happened. That's it.
I lived it, T. I used to go around interviewing people.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, where were you when JFK got, like anybody, an older person?
Yeah.
That would always be like my teachers. I try to connect with people this way,
Yeah.
especially older people. And my father told
bring up
me
a
his
traumatic
story that
event.
he was in. 9/11, right? It was just like 9/11,
God damn you.
which again is why I was fascinated by you, because your birthday is on the 10th.
Oh, yeah.
And so, but my father was in Cairo when this happened, and it was very sad news, because I think the symbolic nature of John F. Kennedy was that he was a peaceful person.
Mm-hmm.
And so whether or not that's true, because he waged war, he tried to kill Castro, he got involved in Vietnam, and so it's that he was helpful for civil rights. Again, there are people who will disagree with that is none of this is true. So JFK's record, the way they've presented him, doesn't always match.
Yeah.
So maybe it was a good thing that he did die, because who else is going to get civil rights
Jesus.
across the board like Lyndon Johnson, baby?
Oh, my God.
LBJ. What a president.
Christ on a cracker. I don't think it's good that JFK died.
So why did they kill JFK? That's why I think. And Oliver Stone took liberties and said that LBJ was involved.
Yeah,
and the highest echelon of government were involved.
Yeah, he took several liberties. But I also just think it's highly coincidental that the government spook that they brought in to investigate this whole thing's name was Arlen Specter. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that guy.
You can get a less fucking suspicious name. Fuck that.
Wasn't he your great senator?
He's straight out of a fucking Bond film. Arlen Specter. Dr. Specter.
Well, he got thrown out of the Republican Party in 2008 and caucused with the Democrats because he wasn't radical enough. And now we're at the point where the Republican Party will blatantly disregard truth and facts for the purposes of overturning an election and steer us one step closer to no longer having a peaceful transition to power because they're going to get away with it. Republicans don't even want to hold them accountable in Congress.
Trump,
and that's the whole thing with government. Is there's just, and this is with JFK. This is a lack of government accountability. People don't want
Trump versus
to
the
have
Rock.
Hearings. Yeah, the fact that they're the police officers are now suing him, Capitol Police, for starting this mess. And they're blaming Nancy Pelosi, I think. And they're so bizarre and in La La Land. And it's just like, you're ruining this wonderful voting system.
I'm just tuning out of politics again. I can't right now. I'm just feeling myself too much. I'm going to go play in the woods while the world burns to nothing.
There's no woods here in the desert, my friend.
I'll drive up to Flagstaff.
I'll tell you about the places in southern Arizona, too.
Yeah. It's going to be great. It's going to be a good time.
For sure. We have a washing machine to collect once you get here, by the way.
That sounds great.
Let's keep that back limber.
But
so if anybody would like to help us move a washing machine Labor Day weekend, let us know.
Oh, yeah. Labor Day weekend.
What are you doing Labor Day weekend? I'll ask my friends.
Yeah, screw your picnics. I got this washing machine.
What are you guys doing on Labor Day? Nothing, man. What are you doing? Well, come on and help me move a washing machine.
Yeah. See a spin cycle on
Need
this
all
baby.
the help we can get.
See how wet she gets.
I'm getting... So, speaking of getting wet...
What other conspiratorial elements are there surrounding this case? Because I know I've gone into like what really bothers me the most from a serious perspective, but...
Here's my theory. I always thought that the push for civil rights and the shooting in the South was an indicator that elements of the Ku Klux Klan and white supremacists were involved.
Huh.
That the Catholic president was not appreciated by people who founded this country, right? And so these are our Anglo-Saxon Protestants.
Gotcha.
And their belief, the Catholics and the Protestants historically have had some issues, and they've been more profound in places like Ireland, right?
Yeah.
But you can't disregard that this is a nation of European immigrants. And so those hostilities breed over. Yeah, they get along now, but they didn't get along with the Jews either. Like you look at some of the horrible things FDR wrote. Everybody wants to put FDR on a platform. I'll note that their religious alliances played a strategic role in how our culture was shaped. And people want to diminish this idea of critical race theory or just talking about race. And again, I can't take this away. And I think there's something to be said about a Catholic president in a country that he had to go on Kennedy had to come out and address his Catholicism. He had to address that. That was a very noted speech as part of his history, and he had to make sure the country knew that his allegiance was to the United States and not the Pope.
Right.
And this was something he had to go on television to do, to calm people's nerves, right? And so, yeah, I think there was bias, and maybe it plays a role in how we do things. And I do remember the undercurrent when Obama was getting elected is that it's going to be the fastest assassination ever, that they would never allow a black man to be president. This was widely said here in Arizona. with the people that I interacted with. It was just kind of a thing that people would say as if it was true, but then kind of half-heartedly joking, but then some secretly saying, you know what, I kind of hope it happens, but you don't know a person's intentions.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me to learn that, again, white supremacists, Ku Klux Klan, I mean, they kill people. Like, that's what they do. And often they're state sponsors of terrorism. You know, they're supported in that regard.
Terrorism doesn't exist in the United States.
Yeah. Terrorism is relative. Antifa, those are the real terrorists, obviously. They're the ones that actually are responsible for the Capitol. And then that's, again, these people believe this. I don't understand them, but whatever. Hey, T.
We still
I
got
love talking conspiracy.
Yeah, we still got terror living in the USA. The big CIA. The Bloods and the Crips and the KKK. That song.
Where is the love?
Yeah, that song is going to stand the test of time. Where is the love? I don't know, man. And I don't know if we're ever going to actually get to the bottom of who killed JFK.
Biden will have another opportunity to release more
alien files, JFK files. I know. I've heard about the files. And if there's all these files, then they're obviously hiding something.
I challenge every listener, do a FOIA, Freedom of Information Act. Go to your government and request government documents. Go through the process and do this and learn how your government works. And I think you'll find that these processes are often built to ensure your inability to hold your government accountable.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're really encouraging people to do this. They're going to get 3 steps into it and be like, fuck these guys.
Yeah, they won't go through with it. Most people don't. Most people talk about holding government accountable. Other people don't actually go to government and learn the misgivings that if you think government is so corrupt, check your local government. Go into your local government and find out what the hell they're doing. But you're not going to do that. You're going to scream at your television about a system or a process that you've probably never read about and read about it in depth. I would say go, and that's why I said do a FOIA, do a Freedom of Information Act. Take it to that next level. Know who your local representatives are. Know who your local state senators are.
Our local government doesn't give a fuck. That's what I'm telling you, man. It's run by the mob.
No, learn if it's run by the mob.
It should say right there.
See where their money comes. Trace the money. Go for the funding. Find out. Here, Hickman Farms is a big thing. Clint Hickman, he's the Maricopa County supervisor, and he's finally stood up to the craziness around the Arizona recount. And we're appreciative of that. But again, very much there's still a lot of culpability that hasn't been resolved yet. So what were you going to say? I'm sorry, Tim.
Our mall is shaped like a machine gun. Because
that's how the architect designed it?
Well, yeah, it was all mob funded and designed and everything. And I guess it was aimed in the direction of the former mayor's house.
Wow.
So, and that's all accurate. And you can go ahead and look at it. The map of the mall is very much a gun.
Let's go to the tape.
It's fucking ridiculous. The Mill Creek Mall. Erie, Pennsylvania.
Like the Denver airport.
Yeah.
Shaped like a swastika.
It's the headquarters of the Illuminati, if you believe in that conspiracy. There's a conspiracy. We can get into the Illuminati sometime.
We need to do some Epstein stuff soon too, please.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we can definitely get into, oh my God, yeah. Yeah. We'll do that soon. Just him fucking Trump. That was a great revelation on our one of our previous episodes.
Yeah, something that they don't want to accept.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'll dump Bill Clinton. I'll set Bill Clinton on fire any day. It's ain't a thing over here. You know what I mean?
Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, and Epstein all had. I guess this would be like a 69 square. Have I ever introduced the concept of the 69 triangle to you?
I feel like our listeners want to know. Obviously, I know because I'm intelligent.
So,
but our listeners may not understand.
Right. So yeah, basically a 69 is where you and your partner are performing oral on each other simultaneously. Now, if you were to do this with a third person, it would basically form a triangle. And then the more people you add, it'd be a square and then a pentagon, a hexagon, and so forth. Because you'd just be going down on the person next to you in a big circle. Except it would be a triangle or a square.
I'm just thinking a few more weeks we'll be doing this.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. There's going to be dogs involved. Pies.
Peanut butter.
Yeah, it's going to be fan-fucking-tastic. Oh, man.
So I'm serious about that. So like your first, the down payment, just put it all towards Yingling.
You got to see how much room I got in this car. I should have enough room for all that.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
And then we'll be bootleggers. You know, that'll be the first way to turn a profit here.
There we go.
I guarantee you, I got a wide open market for you.
We can start selling it to all the local, some of the local bars. See, and then they'll have us running back and forth across the country.
No, I have an intricate Yingling network.
Jesus,
of people who would love to define prohibition laws that prevent prohibition laws that our government has made. So again, this is the government holding your accountability. You can't buy Yingling, and they can't buy Lagunitas. You know that it's there are distribution laws that are written to benefit people, and you, Joe Q, and Angie Q, and Muhammad Q,
most popular name in the world. Why should we read a fucking book?
Yes.
Why was it between that or Muhammad? And you went with McLovin? You only have one fucking name. No. This is fine. This could work. Either they're going to think that, here's another kid using his stupid fake ID, or here's McLovin, the 25-year-old organ donor from Hawaii. Hawaii, of all the places to fucking pick, he picks fucking Hawaii. His fucking fake ID is the most ridiculous thing.
I used to have friends who made fake IDs like that.
Bro, Superbad is seriously one of my favorite movies. Definitely got to be like my favorite comedy. I don't know if it's just because the era I grew up in. Dude, it is so funny. So funny. Oh my God. And it was like prior to...
It's a good time.
Yeah, it was like pretty much prior to smartphones and everything. Oh my God. Oh God.
The soundtrack's banging.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Everything about it's great. So now that we've completely taken this JFK train off the rails, let's call it a wrap for this week, yeah?
I had fun, and I hope our listeners did too, and that's what we're all about. And you're going to have a chance to support us in Arizona. We're going to be doing live recordings at the Orpheum. And you know how we do it, right?
Come see us.
Get at us.
We'll have
on social media.
At CTS Terry, at CTS Saif on Twitter, or on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or wherever you listen to podcasts by searching for the Catch the Sky podcast. Be sure to subscribe and share. And if you come see us in person, hopefully we'll have some of our new merch presentable for some people. We'll probably just order shirts for ourselves to wear around, and then once people are like, "Hey, where'd you get that?" Be like, "Look, I know a guy.
Yeah.
It's me."
We're doing a garage sale.
I'm the guy.
My mom is organizing it as we speak. There's a whole room of clutter, and it's getting out there.
All right.
And we're gonna...
Yeah, you can clear out all the clutter so that we can bring in all our merch.
That's right.
We have a whole merch room. It's gonna have boxes full of shirts that nobody's ever gonna buy, and VCRs.
We might be doing laundry over there, so we better talk nice.
Oh, I'm talking about this is going to be at your house. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love your parents.
the least non-racist people that I've ever known.
Right.
Shout out to the parents.
Shout out to the parents.
Yeah, T. This is a good part. This is a good way to end it. Love the family and
I'll see you soon. And
JFK.
until next week, keep trying to catch the sky.